Hello everyone and welcome back to Tea Time Crochet, and today we're going to be working on this scarf which is made out of the corner squares that I've done a couple videos on now. It's really simple. You just make 12 of the corner squares and then I show you how to seam them together, and then we do a single crochet edging around it and it turns out really pretty. So I'll go ahead and get to the tutorial now. Okay, so what you're going to need is you're going to need some worsted weight yarn. Any worsted weight yarn will work. You could probably go smaller in size of yarn if you would like, but you would probably have to make more rows and more squares. So for this project I'm using worsted weight. If you want to change the yarn up a little bit, then you'll probably have to work out the numbers for that. But just one skein of worsted weight yarn. Mine is Red Heart Super Saver in Minty, and I know this is all I have left because I've completed all of my squares already. You're going to need some scissors, a yarn needle, and a 5.5mm crochet hook. So I have already have the clip on how to do this square. So I'm going to go ahead and insert that here. So you're just going to start with a slip knot. And we're going to chain 3. So 1, 2, and 3. And then in that first beginning chain, we're going to put 2 more double crochets there. So just like that. You can just pull that tight. We're done with that. So we're going to chain 1 and turn. And as usual, that chain 1 doesn't even exist. We're just going to ignore it. It's just to help us get a little bit higher so we can put our first double crochet into that first stitch. And then in the middle stitch, we're going to put 2 double crochets, loosely chain 1, 2 double crochets. So 1, 2, loosely chain 1, and then 2 more double crochets. 1 and 2. And that is going to form our corner. And then in this last, it's going to be our chain 2 from the beginning, but in this last one we're just going to put 1 double crochet. So just like that. And that is what's going to form the square. So we're going to chain 1 again, and we're going to put 1 double crochet in the next 3 stitches. And then in this chain 1 space, we're going to put 2 double crochets, loosely chain 1, and then 2 more double crochets. So in the chain 1 space, it's always going to be our corner stitches. And then in the next 3, we're going to put 1 double crochet in each. And you can already see our corner square forming. We started here and it gradually gets bigger as we go. So since I've already have a tutorial on this, I'm just going to show you this little bit for now, and then we're going to move on to the main project. So you're just going to keep doing that, repeating that over and over again. And in the next clip, I'll tell you how many rows you need to complete. So you're going to need to complete 10 rows on your square, and you're going to need 12 of them. at a minimum. You can do more than that if you'd like a longer scarf, but for a standard adult scarf, it's at least 70 inches. So these are 6-inch squares, so I need a total of 12 of them. So this is what they look like when they're complete. And what you're going to do is you're just going to take your squares, and I've already sewed all of my other squares together just to save time. I hope that you're able to see this. But what I've done is I've alternated the eyelet stitches that go down the center to where they zigzag back and forth across the scarf. So I hope that you're able to see that. And it goes, and I've just, kept doing that back and forth until all my squares are attached. So I'm going to show you today how to attach the square and then how to finish the scarf off. If you have some time, this probably wouldn't take you more than a couple days, maybe. Of course, it took me longer because I was only working on one square at a time, or a couple squares at a time. But I think I'm down here on this end. So I know that my eyelets are going this way, so I know that I want to position this square so it completes like the zigzag. And all I'm going to do is I'm just going to put the wrong sides together. I'm going to hold them together like that. I'm just going to make a slip knot with my yarn. Take my hook and go through this end stitch. When you have your finished edge, it'll be easier than when you have your raw edges. So I'm just going to go through the first stitch on this square and the first stitch on that square. Attach my slip knot on my hook and then pull it through with a slip stitch. And I'm just going to tighten that. And I'm going to find my tails and I'm going to work over those as I'm going. But I'm going to go back into that same stitch with a single crochet. And then I'm going to put one single crochet in every stitch across, working over my tails as I go. This is a really easy scarf. So I'm right here to my corner space, and I'm just going to work in that, and then I'm going to fasten off. So that should be all of your squares attached to each other. So we're just going to work on a single crochet row around all of the edges. So I'm just going to choose a spot anywhere. Any corner spot will work, and I'm going to attach my yarn. So you're going to make a slip knot, I'm just going to pull it through with a slip stitch, and then I'm going to go back into that stitch with a single crochet, and I'm just going to single crochet around the whole outer edge of the scarf. So I'll do this first square with you and show you how I'm going to do the join. And of course the train has to come through. Okay, sorry about that. I had to pause for a minute for the train to go through. It's so noisy. Okay, so this is the last stitch right here. And then here is my corner space of my square, so I'm going to work into it. And then I'm going to jump right over to the next corner space on the next square and work into it. And I'm just going to bypass that seam. So you're just going to continue to do that, working over all of your remainder tails that you have all the way around. And I will meet up with you when I reach my other corner to show you how I'm going to do that. Okay, so I've made it to a corner square here, or to a corner of my square here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into that last stitch with a double crochet 3 times. And that's just going to make the corner nice and round, and then I'm just going to start working up this other side. So see how that makes it nice and neat? So go ahead and do that for all of your corners, and you're just going to put single crochet along the edge, put 3 single crochets in the corner, and then start working up the other side of the edge. When you get back to where you started, you put 1 there already. That's where you started with. So when you get over to the very last stitch, you're going to put 2 into that beginning stitch where we started. So your corner will be nice and round, and then you're going to fasten off. So I'm going to go ahead and complete mine, and then I will come back and show you what it looks like. Okay, so this is what your scarf should look like when you're done. You could block this out and the eyelets would open, and it would look really pretty. You don't have to do that, but if you want to, you can. But just adding the single crochet edging just really kind of ties it all together, and it looks really nice and neat, and it kind of evens out the blocks, considering I had them facing different ways. They were a little wonky, so it's not like that anymore, but this is what it looks like. It's too big for me to get in the camera, so I just folded it in half. So thanks for watching. Have a great day.